The lush green lawns of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua's WAMUNYORO residence in Nyeri County have become a focal point of Kenya's evolving political landscape. Following his impeachment on October 2024, Gachagua has transformed his rural home into a political command center, drawing diverse leaders and supporters seeking an alternative voice in Kenyan politics.
Wameniambia hii, wanataka tupange namna hii.
This development has sent shockwaves through President William Ruto's camp, prompting a wave of counterattacks and renewed scrutiny.
When they called Gachagua villager, and he adopted that name, and is actually in the village right now, organizing villagers. In this country, the people who vote come from the village and the informal settlements of the cities. So if you can marshal numbers from the village and the informal settlement of the cities, then you become a very scary figure in politics.
WAMUNYORO has become synonymous with political strategizing and grassroots mobilization. Gachagua's open-air meetings on the sprawling lawns of his opulent home mirror the gatherings President Ruto once held at the Deputy President's official residence in Karen from 2018 to 2022, which played a major role in securing his presidency. The most recent meeting saw Gachagua hosting members of county assemblies from Nakuru County, followed by sessions with Maa leaders from Kajiado and Narok counties and elected representatives from Kisii and Murang'a. These engagements continue to send fear to rivals as Rigiji galvanizes support and demonstrates his ability to mobilize grassroots leaders who maintain close ties with the electorate. Political observers suggest Gachagua's choice of WAMUNYORO for his activities is strategic, shielding him from government surveillance and enabling him to operate discreetly.
So as it stands today, the alternative political voice in the villages will definitely emanate from Gachagua's corner, especially in Mount Kenya. I keep on saying that in Mount Kenya, if you will come seeking for a political seat and you fail to get an endorsement from Rigiji, then your goose is cooked.
The former deputy president has claimed that state agents trail him, further fueling his narrative of political persecution. This villager approach has resonated with many, transforming WAMUNYORO into an alternative political hub for leaders dissatisfied with the current administration.
The former deputy president is aware of the moves they made together with the president in order for them to capture the seat in 2022. So having an enemy who knows you very well is something to be afraid of. And the president must now be making frantic moves to counter what Gachagua might be doing. Because it is actions similar. What is happening at the deputy president's residence is actually similar to what happened in Karen in the run-up to 2022 general elections. You can see that Gachagua's residence is even busier than the residence of Kindiki, who is the substantive deputy president that we have. That tells you the amount of fire that the government is receiving.
He has even challenged other leaders to start holding such meetings in order to strategize on how to make Ruto a one-term president.
Nearly everybody who gets a microphone to speak to the people, they are constantly mentioning Rigathi Gachagua in their statements. You know, at the time Gachagua was being impeached, there was a notion that he will disappear into thin air immediately the impeachment has been done. But contrary to that, the who and who's in government are constantly mentioning Gachagua. You don't get mentioned from powerful people from government if you have nothing to offer. I think it is the reason why they find it very necessary to talk about him is because they know that he is planning to have a piece of their lunch.
Notably, while publicized gatherings showcase his rising influence, reports suggest a series of undisclosed meetings with leaders unwilling to be publicly associated with his cause. Gachagua attributes his ouster to his commitment to listening to the grassroots, a principle he claims strained his relationship with President Ruto. Since his impeachment, Gachagua has shifted from public funerals and church events to consolidating his base at WAMUNYORO. His grassroots-focused narrative has earned him admiration from political hopefuls and seasoned leaders alike, painting him as a champion of the common mwananchi. The WAMUNYORO meetings have sparked panic within the Ruto camp.
Watu wengi wanaendesha mambo ya uongozi changanya na fitina na siasa na mambo mengi hapo katikati na ubinafsi, na tumesahau kutofautisha kama taifa la Kenya tofauti ya siasa za uchaguzi na maneno ya maendeleo katikati ya uchaguzi moja na uchaguzi mwingine.
Political analysts argue that sidelining Gachagua was a miscalculation that could cost Ruto dearly in the 2027 general elections.
Another impeachment to Rigathi Gachagua endeared him to the people. He metamorphosed from a very unpopular politician to the politician that people are sympathetic with, given the way he was hounded out of office. And the president, I think, miscalculated by impeaching Gachagua, because today Gachagua is an idle man. And an idle Gachagua is a dangerous person. The end result of this whole thing is that we might have a very new first parliament beyond 2027. Because Gachagua is going to mobilize his troops and come to parliament.
Gachagua's growing influence in Mount Kenya and beyond threatens to undermine Ruto's grip on the region.
Tuliahidi hawa watu wote wetu ya kwamba bottom-up economic transformation agenda ni ya kuweka pesa kwa mfuko ya kila Mkenya. Instead, ile kidogo walikuwa nayo kwa mfuko, serikali ikaingia kwa mfuko ikato. Si ndio ilifanyika? And that is why there is a problem. Na ndio tunasema hii maneno ya uongozi ya udanganyifu ni mambo ambayo hatutaki.
Furthermore, Gachagua's strategy to host MCAs from all 10 Mount Kenya affiliated counties highlights his intention to ring-fence the region.
Maoni imekuwa mengi sana, na nilikuwa nafikiria ni watu ya Mlima peke yake watakuja, watu ya Masai wakakuja, watu ya Kisii wakakuja, watu ya kwa Nyanza wakakuja, watu ya Western wakakuja. Nikaona hatutaki tuwafungie nje. Ama mngetaka tuwafungie? So tukaona tuchukue maoni kwa kila mtu. Na bado ninaendelea, kwa hivyo nimechelewa kidogo.
His focus on grassroots leaders as political anchors mirrors tactics that help Ruto ascend to power, positioning Gachagua as a formidable contender. WAMUNYORO has evolved into a rival center of political power, challenging the dominance of the official state apparatus. While Ruto remains in office until 2027, Gachagua's activities may pose a potent threat as an opposition bloc.
The government should be wary about that. and come up with counter moves, because it can prove to be a very fatal move from the WAMUNYORO residents.
As WAMUNYORO continues to attract political pilgrims, the residents could be a rallying point for the envisioning an alternative future for Kenya.
If Gachagua will have a good number of MPs, then he will still have a say in the next government, whether this government likes it or not. Because what gives people power in this country is political parties. You can see, I can give an example of Raila Odinga, who in most cases is not personally in government, but because he has his troops in parliament, he has a very big say. So if after 2027 general election, Gachagua gets a good number of members of parliament, then it will cost William Ruto dearly. It will be a big dent in his formation.
The question remains, will this village movement grow into a national force capable of reshaping the political landscape in 2027?